Okay, and now we're live. So you guys think of something to talk about while I work on technical stuff.
You can see me.
Oh wow,
Ooh, the logo.
Yeah.
Hey,
Talk about that.
Like I'm saying, congratulations, you haven't missed anything. It's like subtitles.
I like that.
Above me.
Congratulations.
Well, I didn't want people to panic. I didn't want them to think the show had started and they were looking at a screen and going, "Oh no, all of the important stuff has already happened and I missed it."
So there's actual things happening right now.
Right.
There are things happening right now behind the scenes, which you can kind of see.
Yeah, you can kind of see. That's what I wanted.
It's mystery.
That's what I wanted. I wanted it to be kind of a mystery. I wanted there to be the idea that something important was happening behind the scenes, but you can't quite make out what it is.
Now, we did talk about last time people who were regulars here who didn't get the welcome message. If they wanted to put something into chat, I would read it for them.
Yes, that's right.
So this is the time. So
now is the time.
Now is the time.
So are you going to pick the character for them, or do they get to make a request for which voice they want to hear it in?
Yeah, whatever. We'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll just go. This is what we call it. We're live without a net, folks. This is
so
crazy.
If you have a phrase that you would like to hear, put it in the comment section, and our own Brian April will voice that comment for you in some kind of voice other than his own.
That's right.
The only thing that occurs to me is it's going to be difficult to tell if people are actually wanting that quote, or if they're. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now Jawan is petting the emoji. That's right.
There you go.
That's what happened. He started off with the emoji.
Mm-hmm.
I would love a welcome. All right, this welcome is for Joe Stewart. Hello, Joe. Even though you don't have a profile picture, I will say hello and welcome to the Starving Comics Quarantine Show. You'd think I'd say that without tripping on it, since I say it every week, but no. I butcher it. Like Alice's boyfriend or Ann B. Davis in the Brady Bunch.
I love it. I hope Ann B. Davis makes an appearance every week from now on.
That's my goal now, is to try to fit in an Ann B. Davis reference at some point. Sadly, she is in danger of disappearing into Hollywood lore since the Brady Bunch has not been on the air for a number of years now. This is true.
My son Jeff. That's kind of a weird name. My son Jeff. Why would someone name you my son Jeff? I don't know. Jeff doesn't name himself my son Jeff. He's just Jeff Spiller. But my son Jeff. Welcome to the show.
Myson? Myson men.
All right, we've got, according to the old clock on the wall, which is actually not on the wall, it's time to start. So I'm going to fire up the theme song.
Crank it up.
I'm going to crank it up, and feel free to dance.
Yeah,
if you want. And I think it's ready to go. Can you hear it?
Yep.
Yay.
Starving Comics. Starving Comics. Starving Comics. Starving Comics. Starving Comics. Quarantine Show. That's it. I'm learning.
Here we go. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Starving Comics Quarantine Show. My name is John Brandian, and I am the closest thing that there is to a host tonight. Hopefully, I will be able to be more a part of the show as the host than I was last week. You may remember that the internet gods were not happy with me last week. I kept getting kicked off of this show. And I try not to interpret that as some sort of a sign that maybe I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I spent a lot of time thinking and introspecting this week, and I've decided that I'm going to give it another shot. So up in the nobody put their names in tonight, did they? Oh yeah, they did, because never mind. All right. Can my husband Andrew get a welcome before we go? Can Kara's husband get a welcome?
Andrew, we'd like to say welcome to the Starving Comics Quarantine Show. Sit back and relax. You're in for a wonderful time.
There you go. All right. So my friend Brian April up there in the top right corner. Say hi, Brian.
Hello, everybody.
One of those P's and one of those L's is silent, and as is the E. And, of course, our own Juan DeVivo. Am I saying that correctly?
None of my letters are silent.
None of them. Every single letter makes a sound.
Yeah, very efficient name.
All right. Is there anything going on tonight that you guys need to talk about? Anything happened this week that was critical before we get into what everybody is here for?
I went outside.
Did you?
Yeah, I went outside this week.
Yeah.
That's pretty big news. I actually took a picture. You want to see?
Yeah, let's see it.
Okay, this is
this is outside your house?
Yes, this is what California currently looks like. So here we go.
That's cool. That's great.
So you can see things are calming down and getting back to normal.
Getting back to normal. Yeah.
Yep. That's
California is returning to normal. That gives me hope. I saw something this week that I had never seen before. We were going through the place where they sell sunscreen, because we're getting ready to go to Indiana Beach tomorrow. Different story. Anyway, we were buying sunscreen, and we found some SPF 75. Did you know that they make SPF 75? And we thought, gosh, that's a lot of S and P's and F's. And I thought that is maximum, but it's not, because right down the way a little bit, we found SPF 100. 100.
I've never understood what the numbers are. 100 to me would be a percentage. It's like you just
yeah, it's like organic SPF.
It's opaque. You can't even get this. You won't even see your skin through it. You're just going to have a big blob.
You're just going to have letters on your skin, SP and F. Just
right. Well, interestingly enough, the SPF 100, I got it, and when I squeezed it, a piece of paper came out of the tube, and it just said, "Stay indoors." That's it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is we got so many things coming on. Brant Hanson's on the show tonight, and I can't wait. So you can put some emojis in the comment section for Brant, because he'll be here very soon. And we also made a promise last week that during the Star Spangled or the Dang Ding Dong update, we were going to actually cut open the ding dong. And the reason that we're doing that, well, Brian, go ahead and bring everybody up to speed as to what this dang ding dong is all about.
So a few weeks ago, about a month ago, we decided to take a Star Spangled Ding Dong, and we wanted to see what would happen if we just left it out and decompose, kind of like the McDonald's hamburger and French fry test. Mm-hmm. And we've known that it's been pretty accurate to what it's supposed to look like. Mm-hmm. So we've been leaving it on a paper plate, and it's gotten very popular. People come up to me during the week and ask me, how's it going this week? And I'm like, you have to tune in to see it. So we've decided that tonight we're gonna mix it up a little bit, and we're gonna open up the Star Spangled Ding Dong.
We're gonna open it up.
Well,
and
we didn't know what was going on inside. We were thinking it could be like a Florida sinkhole.
Right.
Things could be happening in there. We don't even know. And then one day, a year from now,
right.
I have no idea.
Right. And the reason that I thought we would open it up, actually, it wasn't my idea. Somebody suggested it last week. One of our listeners said, why don't we slice that bad boy open, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. But the reason is because I'm frankly a little bored with it, because there it is. And that's pretty much what it's looked like almost since day one.
Were the holes there before?
Yeah.
The
hole's been there. we hypothesized that bug, see, there's a dead bug there that's been there for weeks as well. We hypothesized was that the bug sampled the ding dong, and that's what killed it. But
okay.
we have it's just not doing what I had envisioned when we first started this experiment. I thought that the ding dong would rapidly deteriorate in a noticeable fashion, and that would be fascinating to watch. That would bring in hundreds and thousands of viewers just for that, but it's not doing anything. And so this week we're going to cut it open. And so let me bring up the handy cam, the remote cam. All right, there it is. There's the ding dong.
And
I've got two knives here. I've got a little knife for doing, careful work, and then I've got this knife for which I figured I would use for the initial.
Why is it bent?
Just in case. Well, just in case one of the knives breaks when trying to cut into the ding dong.
Right, and the only reason I'm using this knife is because I don't personally own a chainsaw. Otherwise, we would use that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here you go. Get up close to the television. I think you'll be okay. If you want to put on a mask, I don't blame you. But I'm going to I'm not going to be able to look at the screen.
I think the spangles are like vanishing and going into it. There are far fewer spangles than when we started.
We talk about this. What's that?
Yeah, that's something we were talking about.
We talk about it every week. Every week we say, "Oh, there's fewer spangles," but I don't think there is. That's
nobody's been counting.
Right. We just forget how few spangles there were to begin with. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Wait, what if fireworks happen?
Can you see that?
Box?
Okay.
When you cut it, if it just starts.
There's a real.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, there we go. It's actually making kind of a crunching sound as I cut into it.
It's got ribs. You have to descale it and fillet it to get it there.
All right, there we go. Now let me get in here close.
As gross as it sounds, I actually want to bite of that now because of the cream. It looks like the bottom is gone.
Yeah.
It looks what?
It looks like the bottom, or is that just an uneven cut on the right side, closest to the knife?
No, you're right. It's not. It is actually sort of dried up. Like I said, it crunched sort of like a graham cracker when I cut into it.
Right. The first thing that happened was all the oils oozed out and it's
right.
now in the plate. Right. It's something we can't really see.
So it's not completely dehydrated, but it's very close.
See, there's the bottom half of it, Joanne. There.
Yeah. So we're gonna leave it like this now for another week or two, or however long it takes. And tell your friends. This is the time to. If you haven't written a letter, if there's a loved one that you haven't talked to for a long time, this is the reason to contact them and let them know that we will be updating the ding dong.
And when we reach 200 viewers, we will chop it up and serve it.
Well, yeah, anybody really, that you think will benefit from this information. Now's the time to contact them and bring them in, because next week it'll be, who knows what, now that we've broken it open and we've shattered that barrier of icing or whatever that stuff is on the outside.
Fondant.
Anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Now that you've broken it open, the process has started.
All right. So we are to the point where it's time to do our comments of the week from last week. And so I want to bring those up and get to them ASAP. Let me pull those up. I can't do that.
Anytime.
This is something our producer should do. I don't know.
There we go. Lightning. Hey.
All right. Are Martians patriotic? That's the question. Remember last week we were talking about, every country thinks that it's patriotic, that they're being patriotic, even though we're not patriotic about the same country. And then we were asking, do you need to have a country to be patriotic? And then somebody asked, well, are Martians patriotic? And I think that's a fair question.
Yeah. In science fiction movies, like here on Earth, there's America and there's France and England and those kind of, and Nigeria. We all have countries. But then you go in a science fiction movie, it's just the planet, like Naboo. There was no country. There was different areas. Like this is where the Gungans live. I just thought that was weird on a science fiction movie. It's just like people don't go, hey, here, we'll go to Earth. And here, like, we're patriotic about. So I don't know. It depends on the Martians, what country it is. Is it like, what's the U.S. equivalent on Mars?
That's a great point. Yeah. That's a great point. Because we don't all go, yay, Earthlings. We are all on the same team.
They're like, yay, Dust Ridge.
Yeah.
Right?
Dust Ridge Plateau.
You can't talk to me like that. I'm a dirt pit guy.
Right.
We treasure freedom in the dirt pit.
We don't even get along if we're from the same continent. We can't even make that. All right. Last night was the largest display of community-wide illegal fireworks I've ever seen. You would have been proud, John. Remember last week we talked about how illegal fireworks and out-of-state fireworks was a thing that we were aware of when we were kids, and now there doesn't seem to be any sort of limits on what sort of fireworks you can set off. You can launch surface-to-air missiles now, and no one is going to say anything.
Yeah, trick with those is you got to hit something to make the big thing happen.
For the report. Yeah.
Right. But it still wouldn't be illegal.
So, well, they don't really enforce it. You just shoot them off. And then, how can they find out, who's doing the illegal stuff? Something went up in the air and exploded, and they come to your house, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a big black hole in their front lawn. Like,
right. I don't know.
It's not
we're
mine.
burning leaves in the middle of the summer. That's what we're doing.
For some reason, he said you would have been proud, John, as if I'm like the name and face of illegal fireworks.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't necessarily have been proud of that, but I appreciate it. Adam.
Breaking the law.
You're the guy that breaks the law.
Jeff S. said, did I forget to mention that I'm the church pianist?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
All the hymns.
Especially after you placed $20 down saying you could guess more than anybody else. I thought that should have been something disclosed right up front.
Yeah, he's the name that hymn shark.
Yeah, he was sandbagging. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many hymns I have. Why don't we just make it interesting?
Yeah,
Yeah. I think from now on, you should open every conversation with "I am a church pianist" to avoid that.
Yeah, you need that disclaimer.
Right.
Maybe get a T-shirt. Caution. I am a church pianist.
Caution. Yes.
I will own you and I guess that hymn.
Don't even try to stump me with your hymns. Kara T said, come to Muskegon. And that was directed at you, Juwan. She wants you to come to Muskegon.
Yeah, what's funny is people will ask us to come to their town, and it's usually a couple days after we've already been there. So we'll be to Columbus, Ohio, and we have visited there and played a concert, and then we go home, and then somebody on my social media will go, hey, you guys need to come to Columbus. And I go, yeah, we were there like 3 days ago. Yeah. So Muskegon, we always come to Muskegon. There's a thing called Unity Fest that's there, and we were there last year. So if you didn't catch us last year, you'll catch us next year, I think.
Right.
Barring, pandemics. If there's not a pandemic, maybe we'll be there.
Come to Muskegon. I just think that it's funny when people make demands like that. It's like, come to my town, and you don't even think anything about it. You don't even, like, if you were to say that to anybody else, like if you just imagine walking up to any other person and saying, come to Muskegon, what their response would be.
Isn't that what all tourism bureaus are? That's what they base their stuff on, though.
I have it where people, I'll go somewhere like Massachusetts or whatever, and I'll be an hour away from where they are, and they're like, "Oh, that's too far." I'm like, I went from California. You can at least drive the hour. Like, I'm close enough. Like, come on out. No, I don't want to do that.
You really need to come to my neighborhood if you want me to come and see your show.
Yeah,
Front yard.
Yep. All right. And Jeff D said, your boss's father. This was the answer to the question, what is a grand boss? Remember, that was the advice last week. Somebody said my grand boss, and we wondered what that was. Apparently, Jeff says it is your boss's father. And
does your boss's father have any say-so over your job performance, or does he have authority to come in and go, "Hey, can you read me the numbers of the?
Can you read me the numbers? You come to me today, asking me for a cup of coffee, and you haven't given me the daily report yet."
Well, I wonder if there's like a whole lineage of family. Like, is there a step grand boss, or is there a first boss once removed,
and then a great grand boss,
right?
Uncle boss,
great grand boss.
And how does that work as far as promotions and hiring and firing, and because it could be complicated
unless it's a government, unless it's an administration, presidential administration.
Yeah, if it's an administration, if the government knows about it, then it'll be fine.
Or maybe he's just someone who comes in and holds like the Pillsbury Grand roles. He's like, I got it. I'm the grand boss. No one's getting these until I say so.
Is there anything scarier than opening up a tube of biscuits?
Waiting for that inevitable pop.
And then Timothy S. said, "Sync up, John," which I thought was rude.
Well, weird, because I'm the one that's 3 seconds behind everybody.
Well, yeah, but see, I'm the one who gets blamed for that stuff. And last week I was the one that kept dropping out, and so,
you're the grand boss.
That's true.
I am.
Sounds like the when they were like straighten up and fly right. That's like the new version of it. Sync up,
and
fly right. Wi-Fi. Sync up and Wi-Fi, John.
All right.
Fourth graders now.
Let me fly into the. Let's do the product review, and then we'll get Brant up here.
Ooh.
All right. So this week's product review, Brian's review is featuring the Archie McPhee 11761 accoutrements yodeling pickle. Is that right, Brian?
That is correct. And you can go ahead, please.
No, I was. What do you want to say?
I was just going to say that it's with the deal Amazon Prime. I mean, 1161. How can you top that? I mean, this is something for everyone, really.
It's a 23% savings. If that's math is correct. And the Archie McPhee 11761 is actually that's the brand for the standard for yodeling pickles, I think, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It is the upper class A1. That's what you have to have now.
The Archie McPhee.
The Archie McPhee. Don't accept any substitutes. Check for a hologram. On
a hologram.
So there are some questions people have for this.
Right. It's a great gift for the person who has everything except a yodeling pickle.
This is very true.
Oh, I have loads of questions.
There are lots of questions. So
all right, go ahead, Brad.
First one is what does it do? And yes, what does it do? And the answer is anything you want it to do. Flips and rolls, babysitting, walking the dog, cooking dinner, but it doesn't yodel, and it isn't just a plastic pickle. So that's one. Now, this is a very important one, too. Is the pickle dill or bread and butter? Because this person doesn't want to sound like a pickleist, but it's a thing to know if the picklepocalypse, say that 5 times fast, is here. And that would mean a hungry roommate. And the answer is, don't worry, these pickles are highly trained in self-defense. So that's good.
It doesn't say any of that in the description.
No, it doesn't. You would think that would be something they'd lead with over the hours of mindless fun.
Is the pickle apocalypse a lack of pickles, or that the pickles have become sentient and have turned on us? Because to know that the pickle is good in self-defense, that's not a good thing to know if they're attacking.
Yeah, it's kind of like Terminator. It's kind of like the Terminator franchise, only it's going to be pickles.
True. Yeah.
So I'm hoping it's a lack of pickles or something.
I think
when pickles
so.
attack, you don't want them to be well trained in hand-to-hand combat. Correct.
Right. Yodeling, I'm good with. Now, is this compact? I would like to enter a yodeling competition and just hide it in my clothes. Will this be discreet? And the answer is yes, it would be discreet, but be forewarned that yodeling pickles are notoriously claustrophobic and can become violent when confined.
Ooh. That would make for a very interesting yodeling competition.
It would, just
holy cow.
Yeah. So
are there any reviews?
Yes. Last question real quick. Yeah. Is this for little old lejitos? And yes, little old ladies with a sense of humor. So
I like that they misspelled yodeling in the description.
Yodeling.
This pickle arrived silently and observed the surroundings of its new home, taking in the scenery in the chill of winter. Upon opening the box, it let out a triumphant yodel and stole my fiancée away. Even though I am heartbroken, I cannot take a star away for the loss of my love, as I still have the beautiful box the pickle came in, so I guess that's good. I sometimes hear the yodel in the distance.
How many stars is that?
5 stars.
5 stars.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an objective.
It's that good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even though it's like so much pain is associated with it, he was still able to give an objective review. That's interesting.
Truthfully, the pickle may have saved you a lot of future heartache, because if your fiance was willing to leave you for a plastic cucumber, then it probably wasn't going to be a long-term relationship anyway.
It did say that it would do everything.
That's true.
Yeah.
So if you have a fiance you're unsure of,
yeah. It's kind of like
get her one of these pickles and see if she sticks around.
Yeah, it's like couples counseling on the cheap, Just I have the best yodeling pickle in our monthly yodeling pickle club. Everyone else is jealous. I do let them look at it, but I never let them touch it. So that's my yodeling friends tell me the yodel is quite authentic. My pickle friends remain silent about the potential abuse of a pickle. So that's kind of, you got to be careful with that. Sorry, go ahead. You have a question?
Well, yeah, I wonder what that circle is. I can see the speaker, but I wonder what that circular thing is up there.
I believe that's the button that you push to trigger the yodeling.
So it doesn't it doesn't know when to yodel until you push that button. Okay.
Yeah, it's nice that way. You don't want it just yodeling at any time of day.
Right.
Everyone needs a yodeling pickle. It's great. It's great at the yodeling. The other more expected duties of a pickle, not so much. It is awful on a sandwich, sucks next to a burger and fries, and it pretty much just sits there on a garnish platter. But if you want this baby to yodel, just push the button and let him go.
There you go. There's the answer to my question. I should have waited.
Yeah, and here's the last one. It's perfect for all your yodeling pickle needs. All these years, the closest things I've ever encountered were karaoke cucumbers. I've seen operatic avocados, shrieking lemons, and rapping cabbages, but I've never before have I managed to find a pickled vegetable that yodels and has such long battery life. This yodeling pickle will solve at least one of my life's problems. Thank you.
The operatic onions are annoying.
Yeah.
They're not as good.
But the karaoke cucumbers, they're kind of fun. They're
not as seasoned.
Look at that. The couple that pickle yodels together stays together.
That is, I believe that's their slogan. Their tagline. Yeah.
Oh.
This was staged. It's too perfect for this show. Yeah, so now they're accusing us of you're accusing us of actually inventing yodeling pickles just for the. That's a compliment.
Yes.
That
It
you think
is, but I don't
And
like
the-
my
you have that much power.
And the graphic work that you did to make it look just like a Amazon review is nice.
I know.
That's very
I'm a
good.
talented person. And then the way I pretended to not understand how it operates,
Yep.
just to throw everybody off. I was
Well done. Well done. That's awesome.
I was confused
They got us.
about how the yodeling pickle, what makes the yodeling pickle work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to send Brian and Juwan to the green room. Not forever, just for a little bit. So
Well,
wave goodbye. Wave goodbye, Brian. They're going to be there, and they're going to be able to comment from there. Juwan, I don't know how to remove you. There we go. All right. Coming out to join me now is our special guest this week, Mr. Brant Hanson. Some of you are listeners to Brant's podcast, Brant and Sherry's Oddcast is what it's called. And it's a great show that defies description, so I'm not going to try to describe it. But you know how this works, you regular viewers of this show. As I bring Brant onto the stage, fill up the comment section with your applause, emojis, fireworks, anything that you deem appropriate to show your appreciation and astonishment that Brant Hanson is on the show, ladies and gentlemen. There he is, Brant.
Thank you.
Hanson.
Thank you for the exclamation points.
Is this the first time you've ever followed a dissected ding dong on a?
No. It's about the third time. It's getting kind of cliche. So, thank you guys for your emojis. That's really nice. Can I say something too? Since it's video, I'm used to doing radio. Like, I have all the wrong mannerisms. I have Asperger's, and so I've learned to do better with my mannerisms. But I oftentimes am looking like I'm angry, and I'm actually having a great time. So brace yourself for that. And then secondly, I'm only good at being funny if I'm making fun of something or I'm not trying to be funny. So none of this, since this is like in a comical space, nothing I say is going to be remotely funny. So just brace yourself for that as well.
Stop making excuses. We have Brant and I go way back to Florida years ago, and Brant was, I can say this was my show. Brant was the first radio guy that I ever encountered who was actually fun to be on his show. If there's any other radio people out there, Brian can attest that. Brian knows what's like, and John both. They both do radio. It's terrible. It's terrible most of the time. Because it's not the host's fault. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. It's the system. But Brant has his own system of doing radio, and we had so much fun. We did remember we would do the 24 recap.
Yeah, I'd write a family-friendly recap of the latest 24 episode, and we do it in like 1 minute, and just like so that you don't have to watch it. I'll cover it for you, and then your kids can listen. It was very dry. So I think that's the shocking thing about our show is that it's not obvious what we're doing sometimes to some people, or it's really, really dry. And I know I sound like Garfield the cat, and so people don't expect. They don't even know what the heck's going on. That's fine. Some do, and it's wonderful. And that's why it's been a success. Like there's enough people that they're into the ironic humor and that what stuff. Yeah.
I called into your show in Florida for a little while and would do comedy on a semi-regular basis, and we did some comedy at the Improv together, where you would host and I would do.
Yeah, I'd host. I didn't do any comedy, but I do want to. So I'm trying to learn how. One thing we did was I had you on John on our podcast with Sherry, and Sherry, our producer, has done some stand up. And so I was like, look, I may not be the comedian or whatever, but I can certainly help provide you guys with funny jokes. And I thought if we put our heads together, then we would come up with just hilarious stuff that we could share and become popular and well liked. So that's been something, and it's actually really hilarious to listen to those podcasts with John, because none of the jokes are funny. It's all a complete disaster. It's a train wreck from start to finish, but we're aware of it. So then we just kind of hand these jokes that aren't funny to John and go, hey, you make these funny. You do it on stage. Mm-hmm. And I like that. I like the process.
Yeah, well, I wanted to bring the train wreck onto this show. That was the goal. I thought I want to contact Brant and have him bring that horrific joke writing experience. And what was funny about it to me was that you were serious when you texted me. It's like, we're going to do a workshop and we're going to create material for you. So it was a very magnanimous and selfless act that you were doing, because you were dedicating your time and energy and creativity into material for me to use.
Yeah, I actually think the process is more entertaining than the show. Like, and I got that from the Muppets. Like, you would see behind the stage and you see this struggle. Like, Scooter's got the clipboard and the headphone, and he's trying to, like, is anybody out doing anything? Like, then you see the chickens come off stage, or Fozzie Bear after he got heckled or whatever. And like, I love that. So we actually do that with our radio show, where it's more, you just see right through it, and you actually get to see who we really are trying to put on a show. Like, I'm trying to be cool, trying to be smooth, but I can't. It's not even possible.
It's just not working.
By the way, can I say something? It's weird you brought up the SPF thing, because I had just written a joke about that yesterday. If I do stand up, seriously, because well, I'll read you what I wrote.
Okay.
If I can find it here. It's probably, again, this is just the process of a joke.
Yeah. But we didn't, it's important that everybody understand that we did not set this up in advance, did we, Brant? We did not.
Goodness, no, it'd be way better. I would start it with something like this. Yeah, I guess you're supposed to watch it going out in the sun. I saw a thing online recommending SPF 100. I didn't know there was such a thing. And then I saw one for SPF 300. That's true, which is incredible. So I looked it up, and the strongest you can get is SPF 1000. How much sun can you possibly block? My theory is that if I put on SPF 1000 lotion, I will no longer be blocking the sun's rays for myself. I'll be blocking it for everyone around me. People at the beach will ask me to leave. No one in a 30-mile radius will be tanning today after I put this on. I will be a walking eclipse. So that was kind of I don't have it all, but it's there. Like, the elements are there for a joke.
It's actually going to absorb the rays off of everybody else, right?
People, like, it'll be an eclipse.
I'm trying to work on my tan, and nothing's happening because
SPF 1000. All light rays are drawn into my body. There's a joke in there, and you can have that too. I'll send it your way if you want.
Really? No thanks.
No, that's gratis.
All right, so this is I wanted to do the comedy workshop for our viewers here live, and so do you want to just you want to set up what the comedy workshop is, or
well, sure. I'll just grab something. You know what? I just brought up the website for like Target, and so random stuff, and or like Reuters news. So I'll just say stuff, and then all of us. In fact, the people that are commenting and stuff, you guys, it's nice to read your comments. It's nice.
Yeah, there's funny people out there.
There are. And so we can all together, using the wisdom of the crowd, we can fashion like a bespoke artisanal joke that we can then give to John or to the other guys to use on stage. That'll be hilarious.
Right.
It's the meeting of all of our minds. One of us, we'd come up with something stupid, but all of us together, committee style, is the best way to artistically craft something.
Right.
So anyway,
all of us together cannot possibly fail.
right. If we all add our own stuff, the end result will be superior to a single person who knows what they're doing. So here's what so I'll just name something. Is this how we're going to do it? You want me to start?
Yeah, just do it the way. Literally, the first time we did it on his show, he put so much work into it. I think you, on the way out the door, you said you grabbed a sale flyer from like Menards or something.
No. That's silly. What I did was I grabbed a fitness magazine, and then it was like my wife's women's health or whatever, and then I just looked at ads for. And we're like, okay, protein powder. There's got to be humor in There really has to be. We didn't figure out what it was, but there has to be.
Right.
And we never. But,
so,
okay.
So you're just going to throw out an idea, and we're going to write hilarity.
The hive mind. Probably not the way to put it, but like, all right. So oddly enough, Reuters top story, and this is random. I haven't thought about it. It says dancing robots replace fans at Japanese baseball game. So there, and now the hilarity begins because we all have funny jokes. Just thinking about it, just to get us started, John. Like, what event wouldn't dancing robots enhance?
Where would dancing robots not be an improvement?
Right, but I think that's kind of that can be a lead into your stand-up. Like, well, honestly. Okay, I'm not saying what I just said was funny.
Right.
Or close to funny. But what I am saying is that together, I got us started. I bet. Okay, so people are jumping in here.
Yeah.
We do the robot dance. Okay, solid.
At the 7th inning stretch.
Wouldn't it be disappointing if they didn't?
Oh, here's the answer to a question where robots wouldn't be an improvement. It would be like at a funeral.
A funeral, right? Okay, so that's funny, right?
Yeah. Or golf fans. That's what Joanne said would be golf fans.
Right. Or.
So they replaced.
How about this? We think about the future. Like all of us were hoping the future was going to be flying cars and vaccines and like stuff like that. But instead, what we've developed, no, forget that. The vaccine thing is funny or it could be because we could say, "Hey, thanks, scientists, for developing these dancing robots. Now, can you go back in there and do something about coronavirus?"
Right.
They appreciate this. You guys just came out with that, but if we could just redirect you towards the vaccine.
If we could get you to focus on that vaccine and maybe not work that hard on. Did the audience need to be replaced at a baseball game? Is that?
I guess because of coronavirus. I guess that's a story, but I think robots are funny, so I think this has potential. I think the letdown too about if you think the future has so much potential and we all thought it was going to be this or that, and instead we got dancing robots in the stands. It's a little bit of a. I was thinking too, while you were talking about Martians earlier, like we always picture aliens, they'll come to us and then they'll share technologies with us. And it'll be like this big, here, we're bequeathing you. What if they give us technology we already have it? Because I would feel bad for them. It would be awkward. It'd be like, hey, we are giving you this tape deck. You can record television programs on it over the tape. And we'll be like,
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. Here's a box that will cook food really fast, like popcorn in like 3 minutes. You can use it at your offices.
And we're like, oh, okay, well, what can we give you? We have robots that will dance at baseball games.
And a callback to the thing that we did with the baseball.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's awesome. Yeah, the ship comes down and the doors open up and there's all this mist and everything.
Right.
And then they come out and they have a waffle iron. Like, here.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we have to act like, hey, thanks. And that's when you tilt your head too. I've watched people when they feel sorry for people, they tilt their heads. Oh, thank you. I don't know why we do that.
Why? Well, you wouldn't want to. You would have to do that. You would have to be. You'd have to be polite because they're from another planet, right?
We can make, what do you call it? Waffles. We can make waffles. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Alien.
I felt really bad about something. I'm just thinking about the tilt your head thing. True story. I was at an event. This is terrible. I was at an event for a mission that I really love. Everybody should support it. Cure International.
Yep.
It's amazing. But Tim Tebow spoke. He showed up. And it was a fairly small group of people. It was like 100 people or whatever. And he showed up and he did a great job. And I went out in the hallway and I met my friend, Ben, he's a professor of neuroscience at Harvard. And Ben is the sweetest, kindest guy. He's from Kentucky. He's the most humble, mission-minded guy. But we both went in the hallway and we came out and we both simultaneously mirror images of each other, put our hands together and we tilted our heads and go, he did a pretty good job. And we realized how condescending that was. We didn't expect Tebow to be able to do, like, because he's an athlete. You know what? He did okay. He really did. It's like the guy's gifted communicator. He really is. You know, but it's just like, why are we being so condescending? We actually laughed at our condescension. You know what?
He did a good job. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I don't know why we tilt our heads when we did that, but I know that's the first time I noticed that. It's like when you really like, hey.
And that's what we would do when the aliens give us a waffle iron.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry, you guys. Dancing robot Uber drivers. That's funny. That's potential.
Mm-hmm.
Try the vaccine on the robots first. See, people commenting are.
Why do they have to dance? Why would if you're going to use them to replace the fans at a baseball game, shouldn't it be like sitting and cheering robots?
No, that's when you find something that we do that's annoying at games or something like a human thing. I don't know what it is, but that's your job as a comedian that you find you like shouldn't they spill beer on each other or something like that? Not that, but something else that's funnier that you would come up with.
Beer spilling robots. Again,
you can use this. This is good stuff. How about this? Another robot story. This is going to be funny, you guys. Japanese. Here's a guy who put on a full body cardboard shield to guard against coronavirus. So I don't know if that's funny or sad. It's pretty sad. Okay. So
why was that in the news?
Well, Reuters has an oddly enough section.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, I've always thought what was really odd was some of the stuff they put in there. It'd be like 6 people die in a wacky.
Right.
That's not odd It's not oddly enough. It's not funny, you guys. Well,
It's not even close to oddly enough.
I don't even know. It's like it's supposed to be those kicker stories that they teach you. I got my degree in journalism. They teach you like at the end of the newscast. You have this and funny story tonight out of that's what these stories are supposed to be.
Right.
So okay, so let's look at the Target thing. I just brought up the Target thing.
Okay.
Bedding styles.
Okay.
So they having a sale on bedding styles. There's got to be something funny there.
About bedding?
Sure. This is
okay.
I'm gonna let you do this one.
Sheets, pillowcases.
Making the bed. Some people do it all the time. Making the bed's funny. Like who decreed? I'm totally setting you up. I don't know what the funny part is. I'm setting you up.
Well, you're not really making a bed. You're basically arranging sheets and blankets. The bed is not completely disassembled, right? I mean, what if we did that? What if the process of sleeping actually disassembled the bed bolt for bolt, and you had to make it in the morning when you got up?
Mm-hmm. We would play for a hammock. That's funny.
Yep. We would make a robot that would do that.
People make their bed every day, and normal people.
How do you fold the fitted sheet?
Okay, that fitted sheet thing is rich with potential, because that is extremely frustrating. People don't talk about it enough. Like trying to fold the stupid fitted sheet.
No, nobody talks about it.
Nobody talks about it. It's like,
but we will. We will.
Want to.
Yeah. The fitted sheets are well, first of all, they don't fit unless you get exactly the right size for your mattress. So it's a non-fitted sheet. Most of the mattresses is a non-fitted sheet. And why do you want to fold them? What's the point in folding up a fitted sheet?
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, because you can just wad it up. You just wad it up and throw it in the linen closet, and no one's going to know. And if they do find out, let's say you have a friend that comes over and they go, "Hey, I would like to look in your linen closet." And you say, "Okay, friend, we have reached that level in our relationship where I will open up my linen closet and let you see the level of organization that I have achieved in it." Mm-hmm. And then they say, "Oh my goodness, is there a sheet wadded up on the floor there?" And you say, "Well, that is my fitted sheet." And then a real friend would say, "Oh, if it's your fitted sheet, I totally understand why it is wadded up. And I applaud you for having the, first of all, the temerity to know that to try to fold a fitted sheet is a waste of time. Second, I applaud your respect of me as a friend, that you would share this with me, that you would let me see that you don't bother folding your fitted sheets." How about that?
Go on.
I think
that's a hard one. I think there's humor here. But it might have to be, you just got to put the finishing flourish on it. I think we've set you up really well. I think the commenters have set you up really well with this. They'd make you wrong. We're basically writing your next tour. This is all great. You guys are killing it out here.
Origami of Laundry.
So
it's a pyramid scheme, though.
Maybe, or like Dante's Inferno. There's various levels of hell based on how awful you've been. But maybe the very top level for the people that weren't that bad. Just like for all eternity, you just have to try to fold finish. Like, well, he was okay, but we didn't really want to. course, I don't subscribe to that theologically, but that's not the point. The point is the joke.
The question is, who would deserve that? Who would deserve to suffer like that for all eternity?
Suffer lightly. just a little frustrating. That's funny too, because you could come up with other little frustrating circles. Like, because there's the one where the guy pushes the boulder perpetually up and it rolls down. Sisyphus, right? But maybe there's the fitted sheet section. We can come up with some other stuff that's just light frustrations.
Maybe. He finally gets the boulder to the top and it doesn't roll back down. He's like, and then there's a guy at the top who goes, okay, fold these fitted sheets. And he's like, nah. Then he would just push the boulder back down. And I'm going to go back.
Okay. Like that. I'm trying to think of other light frustrations. This is where, again, we need the people here coming in
to tell us what's frustrating about life.
Light frustrations, like things that are annoying, but not like that bad. That kind
My wife disagrees. She says she's ready to give a PowerPoint presentation on properly folding fitted sheets. Yeah, we don't care about that.
A circle of hell where you have to watch PowerPoint presentations is a pretty good idea. You guys are on fire right now.
He says, a friend who wants to see my linen closet is not a friend, not a real friend.
Yeah. Okay, well.
Fitted sheets to the aliens.
Yeah,
there you go. There's a callback. We give the fitted sheets to the aliens.
Yeah, like, hey, have you guys seen sheets that just tightly fit around your mattress? We get these for you to take back. In exchange for
pre-fitted mattresses.
You just gave us a dirt devil, and we're going to give you. We need compliance after Satan.
That would start a war. That would start the war of the worlds if we handed them to them. What do you say about Satan?
We named an appliance after Satan. Who does that? The dirt devil. Like, that's.
We do that. Well, would it be better if it was called a dirt angel?
No, I mean, but if you're just going to be more, why not call it the dirt Satan? What you mean?
Because it's not that good. You would be, there's different levels of everything, and Satan would probably, it's just a dirt devil.
Okay.
Devil and Satan are the same thing, aren't they?
They are. Satan means the enemy, actually.
Right.
So actually, there's anybody in the spiritual realm who's rebelled against God fits that description. You can read Michael Heiser's book called The Unseen Realm. It's very good. It's kind of scholarly, but you'll like it. It's hilarious.
I like the way you just throw out dirt devil theology and then we move right on to something else in Target.
Belgians have been urged to eat more French fries because potato farmers are struggling. I mean, that's funny. I mean, it's not funny. That's potential for funny. I mean, How many times have you been encouraged by anybody? It's your national duty. Like, that's a patriotic gesture.
To eat French fries.
Yeah. Like, and then you can contrast it with like the Greatest Generation. Like, our country is asking you, to get in a small boat across the English Channel under heavy machine gun fire and make your way up the beach.
Right.
Now our country's asking you, can you have some extra French fries?
And now our country is asking you to fire up a vat of grease and slice up some potatoes and put them in it.
American tours, good.
Belgian waffle fries.
See how this workshop is prompting ideas all over the place,
and how it's working like a charm.
Mm-hmm.
And why does it have to be French fries? Why, if the problem is we just need to use more potatoes, why can't they just Why can't they just use them, to shore up furniture? Why can't they just make bookends out of them, door stops? Why do you have to make French fries? Right?
Good point. Why can't we eat them in some other form? But no.
Why don't you just buy them and throw them in the ocean? If the goal is just to use up potatoes.
Yeah. I think the richest comedic vein will be the patriotic thing about that's not or whatever.
Okay. All right. I won't explore that other vein.
I volunteer for solemn duty. That's funny. Nice. Good.
Ask not what your country can do for you, but how you can eat potatoes.
By the way, you were talking about Martian patriotism earlier, which I thought was hilarious.
Yep.
But I was thinking we would get paid. I mean, I know, I suppose somebody's done a riff on it before about how we dominate every year. Earth dominates in the Miss Universe pageant.
Yes. Dave Barry wrote about that.
Did he? Okay. All right. Well, I figured that wasn't.
He wrote about how we decide who Miss Universe is without even considering the other planets or galaxies.
Years in a row.
He says we don't even go outside our solar system, let alone to other galaxies to find out.
Yeah. So.
All right, let's do one more. Let's do this. This is working so well.
Okay. I'm just randomly finding British vicar catches no. And then hedge fund manager. Oh no. Biting passengers on flight is no reason for cash compensation delay, says EU court. Air travelers cannot receive cash compensation if their flight is delayed by a passenger biting other passengers. So, okay. There's a ruling then. What they're saying is there's a ruling that pertains to whether or not you should get a refund if another passenger is biting you or biting other passengers.
Right.
So.
And apparently you can't. Apparently that disqualifies.
Do they issue a warning, like just from the front? Hey, we've got some. It'll be about 74 degrees when we land here in a little bit. Now, some of you are biting each other. We ask you to not do that. Or something. What I said is not funny, but you could make that funny, I think, John. Like the actual announcement. The flight bite clause, yeah.
Well, I mean,
what kind of flight has people biting each other is a good question. Would you like to
maybe they're not serving. They quit serving, peanuts and snacks, and so the passengers are turning to cannibalism.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but
behavior is embarrassing because we're all back in coach, and if we start biting each other, it just confirms what everybody in first class thinks about us. So let's not. I don't know. Fight or flight is good.
The flight attendant wants to know if you would like a muzzle. Flight attendant, would you like a muzzle? They ask if you want to buy headphones. So, Right. Stupid ass biting or non-biting. That's pretty fun.
I think people. I mean, what would have to happen on a flight to prompt me to start biting people? I mean, because we can all lose it at some point.
Right.
Just the right conditions.
So your question is, at what point should you be entitled to a refund? When is biting another passenger actually justified and reasonable? Actually, at what point would you say, "Well, he bit me"? Well, what did you do?
You're actually being derelict if you don't bite somebody,
right?
For self-defense or defending others or something. There's context, but I don't know if that's the funny thing. I think the funny thing would be the announcement. Because some of you are we've got reports that some of you throw row 37 or biting people in row 36 or something. I don't know. I would think you could do that though, and it'd be something funny. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the no biting sign, and so for the remainder of the flight, we ask that you refrain from chewing on each other.
Yeah, there you go, John. That's solid.
There you go, John. That's solid.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, that was a roaring success.
I think so.
Instead of peanuts, you get a teething ring. That's not bad. Yeah, we do not bite our friends. Okay. All right. That was so worth it. It's exactly the way I remember it when we did it on your show. I just remember walking away going, my career is made. It's just a matter of articulating this stuff from stage.
Yeah. And
then riding the wave of success.
We have alley-ooped you. Like, all the commenters and I have set the ball like right perfectly for you to come in and do like a 360 tomahawk with it, comedically speaking, because of how hilarious everything that we come up with is. So what you do with it's up to you. It's on you.
Well, I know.
This is a burden.
I know, and believe me, I feel the weight of that burden. All right, before I allow you to leave,
okay.
And there he goes.
I want you to say whatever you want to say about Cure.
Oh, thanks. Well, is this
all right? Brian's back. Say whatever you want to say about Cure.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say what I want to say about Cure.
Perfect.
Right. I was always hoping something like this existed. There are hospitals around the world in some of the poorest places on the planet where people don't have access to medical care, and they heal people, the poorest of the poor, who have correctable disabilities. So like it might be a 15-year-old boy, it's kids, and that can't walk, but he would have gotten surgery within a day if he was born with club foot or something. In the U.S., that's taken care of lickety split, but in many other countries, you're considered cursed, and he'll be living on a piece of cardboard begging the rest of his life. But we can fix it. So like, why wouldn't we? Like, as somebody who's a Jesus follower, I'm into that. And these hospitals are all about praying with people, telling you you're not cursed. God actually loves you, and making legs straight for little girls and little boys, or healing their arms, or healing hydrocephalus, which babies can die from. My brother actually did die from hydrocephalus, but they heal these people and let them know that God actually loves them. And the moms and dads are amazed. So that's what Cure is. You can find out more at cure.org. It's pretty amazing.
Our producer will put that up on the banner, cure.org.
Yeah, and if you want to be a hero, what we call it's $39 a month. It's one thing that people do, and you can help heal a different kid every month, and you get to actually see the kid you're helping heal and their backstory. It's amazing. Month after month, it's just like, you got to be kidding me. I get to do this. So it's really beautiful, but it's like the best kept secret in the world for some reason, and it doesn't need to be a secret anymore.
Very good. And then if you guys can still hear me, then how do people find more about you, Brant, like your podcast and your stuff?
You can go to branthanson.com. The podcast is called the Brant and Sherry Oddcast, and you can find that on Spotify or Apple, podcasts or all that sort of stuff. And then the books, you find me on Amazon, and you can read the best reviews. You can read reviews of those reviews. And yeah, so just search my name. You'll find stuff.
And it's SEN, HANSEN, not SON.
Brant Hanson, SEN, right?
SEN. Gosh. All right. Well, can we do this again sometime?
Heck yeah. Thanks so much, you guys. It was very fun.
It was great having you on. Brant Hanson, ladies and gentlemen, let them hear you. Let them hear you. See you, buddy. All right. That was so great. Brant and I, we get very little done when we are together because we mostly just cut up and laugh about stuff like what if aliens came to. That's so funny. If aliens came and visited our planet and gave us technology that we already have.
I know. I was like, that's a really good premise.
It's such a great premise. It's so awkward. Yeah, what do we do? I don't want to hurt their feelings because what if they have other technology that we don't have? Like, yeah. Anyway. All right. So we've got a couple of other things still to do here. You guys, you know we do. We got to do our unsolicited advice. And actually, if Brant's hanging around and he wants to help out with this advice, he can.
Bring it on. He does advice, though.
Yeah.
On his
He does
show,
advice.
people actually ask him for advice.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring this up on the screen again, or I'm going to try to. No, that didn't work. And that didn't work. Why didn't it work? Oh, because I didn't share the screen. Or did I?
That's how they get you.
Breadsticks and
I'm terrible with technology. Okay, hang on, everybody. Don't leave. This, you do not want to miss this. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. So this week's unsolicited advice, for those of you who are not familiar with how this show rolls, we are willing to offer advice from our unique professional and wise perspectives.
But you can't ask for it.
Right, you have to ask for it. Or if you don't ask for it, then we will give it anyway. And so this is the unsolicited advice that you didn't ask for, but we're going to go ahead and answer it. And this week's question or piece of advice it's very short. I'm hoping you can tell me what works well for driving demons out of the home. I've heard they dislike the fragrances of sandalwood and sage, but since I don't have either of those on hand, is there something I can substitute for them?
Well, surprisingly, like in the movie Ghostbusters, when Peter Venkman first walks in, he does those two piano keys together a couple times, just does like that. I hate that.
Is that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, it really works. That's why they put it in there. It's really a documentary, but people thought it was a comedy, but
Ghostbusters.
it's a real thing.
Well,
So
they also like Mars Attacks. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. Phenomenal movie. They get rid of the aliens with yodeling.
Yeah.
And what better way than to use the yodeling pickle?
The yodeling pickle.
For $11.61, you can drive demons out of your house.
That is an incredible deal. That's incredible.
That really is a great deal.
Yeah.
That's that should be listed in one of the bullet benefits, I would think.
Why I didn't bet on that? I have no idea. Also, I like to sing the song that song that never ends. That ends up making my family leave, but I figure like everything leaves at that point. But I'm by myself in the house. I know that for sure.
Is there anything to the idea that sandalwood and sage, they don't like that? Because don't they live like in the underworld where everything smells like sulfur? It seems like sandalwood would not be that repulsive to denizens of the underworld.
So you're saying they need something, throw a fitted sheet over them. That's good. I like that. They need something that smells better. So like a freshly dried fitted sheet with the fabric softener smell on there. That's like that's the best thing you can, you like to roll around in freshly dried laundry. That's a good thing. That would drive the demons out. I like that.
Baby Shark will drive things away too.
Ooh, on repeat. Yeah.
Right you are. Life I've cut out. A Benny Hinn would do it. Maybe.
By your quality cutouts of Benny Hinn.
Yep. Belgian potatoes. All right. Well, so that's it. That's the advice that we are hoping that works well to drive them out of their home. What I liked about this is I've heard they dislike fragrances, sandalwood, and sage. Since I don't have either of those on hand, is there something I can substitute? So you want to drive the demons out of your house, but you're unwilling to be inconvenienced to go and find sandalwood and sage. So you want to. Is there anything that I already have on hand that I can
like a pine scent candle or cut an orange? Just cut an orange and leave it open.
I want to drive the demons out, but I don't want to drive to the store.
Right. I'm not willing to go out of my way. If I got to take a special trip to the store, I'm just going to leave the demons where they are. But on the off
I just have to live with it.
I wait till I have to get milk, till the milk runs out, and then I'll go out.
Right. If I'm making, I don't want to make a special trip. If I'm going out anyway, then
put that on the shopping list. Demon repellent.
All right. So we are coming to the crescendo of the show, and it is. I asked Juan DeVivo, our own Juan DeVivo, to do a few tweets for us tonight to kind of round out the show. And
not to come up with them. You just asked me to do ones that I've already tweeted.
You can do whatever you want. But we have, if you don't follow Juan on Twitter, you should. Are you on Parler yet?
Should I be? Is it?
Yes.
Is it that awesome?
Yes, everybody. Well, it's not awesome yet. But you
because I'm not on it. Apparently, that's what's different.
It's lacking Juan DeVivo, and once you're on it, then. All right. So Juan DeVivo's tweet segment. I didn't think up that title.
It's sweet. It's awesome.
It's a sweet tweet.
Juan DeVivo's
tweets.
Sweet tweets.
All right. Whenever you're ready.
So first of all, let's just make sure everybody knows that I've taken the John Bryan School of Comedy. I don't know if everybody knows that yet. I don't know where I put my certificate. I had to print out my own certificate, by the way.
So if this is not funny, I get the blame. What if it's funny? Do I get the credit?
I'm trying to bring confidence. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm trying to be confident here.
Okay.
But I tweeted them all. I printed them all out. So in case we need to look at them separately. Anyway, but I've heard people say, you either find your voice or you're writing first. So sometimes I've tweeted something and you're like, that's a joke. You need to do it. And I'm like, how do I? So I guess this is how I do it.
Right.
Here. So here's one. And then you can use your emojis or whatever.
Right.
So the first one is, people often confuse name brands with the actual name of their item. So like Kleenex is another word for facial tissue, or Pop-Tart is another word for toaster pastry, or Oreo is another way of saying my untimely death. Okay, I'll just do that. Oh, what's the one? So I don't want to brag, but I've been meeting the minimum requirements for President of the United States since 2010. So that's something I've done for quite a while. I don't know if you guys do that. Here's another one. If my life ever depends on me spelling the word receipt correctly, who will look after my wife and kids?
See, that's a great joke.
Yeah.
That is a great joke.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Here's some more. I'll just keep going.
My question is, in the tweet, did you spell receipt correctly in the tweet?
I was wondering the same.
Okay, so is it RECEIPT?
Yep.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Before
right.
E except
Put
after
it
C.
close.
Because it's I before E except after C.
Or when
Well, I got
sounding
away
like
with that
A
one.
as in neighbor or way.
Got away with that one. Okay, so here's another one. If admitting you have a problem is half the battle, then I've only ever fought half the battle.
That's another great joke.
Oh, cool.
That's
Awesome.
another great joke. You see,
Thank you.
ladies and gentlemen, this is why I wanted Juan DeVivo to read his tweets on the air.
We can make this available as a PDF. You want to make this a PDF file?
Let us know in the comment section if you members want Juan's tweets available as a PDF file in the download area. Let us know, and we will make that happen.
There's only one way to eat a Starburst: unwrapped. So sometimes I'll get good ideas and I'll write them down. So this is so M&M's. Wait for it. But as a hear me out, breakfast cereal. You've never.
That's your idea?
Yeah. Nobody's ever. That's not anywhere. You don't see that anywhere. $1 million idea.
You haven't been to my house growing up.
So what is it? You just pour milk on a bowl of M&Ms? Is that your idea?
Yeah. Any size will do. You do the mini M&Ms or the peanut ones or the. I mean, you got like 10 brands of cereals right there, and all you got to do is pour milk on it. You could even use the bag. You pour the milk into the bag. You just eat it out of there. You don't even need a bowl. People should be coming to me for these.
They're already demanding them in the comment section. They're already demanding a PDF file of these tweets. See, so
okay. Well, look, if I supply these and you see me do like stand-up comedy, these might be surfacing. So don't be like I'm a hack, because it might come back. But I'll have my watermark on them. So if you try to put them in your stand-up act, I'll have a thing. Okay, so this one I was going to do as an impression. So here's an impression that I wrote down because it's kind of weird to. Okay. G-string's too tight. That's a guitar player at the beach. It's an impression of a guitar player.
It's a guitar player joke. Because Juwan plays guitar.
Yeah, that maybe I have to work on that one. That was not. We'll just say I did that before I took before I took the John Brandon School of Comedy.
That's a great play.
So here's an after one.
Okay.
Here's one that I tweeted and you said I should put in the act. I have no idea how to make this an actual joke, but all it says is looking in the mirror and singing the magic song from Tangled while I trim lily white hairs from my ear hole. The flower gleam and glow. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know if that'll go in the act, but I think it's funny.
Just say it.
You can just do that. Just don't even try to make it a joke. Just do that as your closer. It's like a performance piece. Standing ovation.
Okay, here's one. This is a true story tweet. This guy just handed me the emissions test results for my car. I was in the car without me paying for it. And for a split second, I contemplated driving off just so I could say I pulled a heist. Okay, here's one that actually is. This one does sound like a stand-up joke. Okay. Every place has a blank to fill in a tip when you run your card. I mean, how much am I supposed to tip at the bail bonds place? This feels like an open mic, you guys.
It's a really hard way to do it.
Just my one friend that I brought with is laughing in the back. We'll
do one more. Make this the closer.
All right, I like this one, and it didn't get much traction. We'll see. This is my pitch for a movie. I'm calling it DeVivo's 8. Kind of like Ocean's 11, but it's DeVivo's 8. It's a family that tries to rob a casino, but the dad gets stopped after he trips in the lobby and 5,000 chips fall out of his hammer pants.
I love the fact that you made that one. I love the courage it took to use that one as your close.
I'm glad you used that courage. That took a lot of courage. About jokes a lot.
That's the feedback you want when you come off stage. That's courage.
Well, we have talked before, but it bears repeating how difficult it is to do comedy via a video feed. It's really, really hard.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought you were saying just difficult to do comedy in general. And here's a good example: Juwan reading.
No, it's very difficult to do because the timing is off. There's no reaction from people, and there's a delay. So like whatever's going on right now happened a couple of seconds ago, and you're just now knowing about it. So it's the worst. And then you don't. So I'm saying that to all of the people who are listening, that if you're enjoying this, and we hope you are, but we don't know. We have no way of knowing whether or not you are.
We won't know until Wednesday.
We won't know until Wednesday. Yeah. I don't know how you couldn't possibly be enjoying slicing open a ding dong, but so we've come to the close to the end of another Starving Comics. We've got Brian and I were talking about what we want to do next week, and we came up with a great idea for something that we want to do next week. So I'm not going to even tell you what it is, but it's a thing that has made us laugh very hard in the past. So we're going to do that next week. If you are of a mind to support what we do, mystery funny thing, if you are of a mind to support what we do, go to johnbranyan.com and become a member, for crying out loud. Some of you have, and thank you from the bottom of our hearts to those of you who are supporting this show. But it's a weird time, man. The whole world is upside down and on fire, and all of us are trying to figure out how to soldier on. And so it helps to know that there are people out there who appreciate what we're doing and are willing to support us. My Dry Bar special dropped on YouTube and Facebook this week, and it's been astounding. The Three Little Pigs thing is just going bananas. Which is
it should go bananas.
Which is great.
It's gone oinkers.
It's gone oinkers.
All right, that was terrible.
We'll see if that,
I like it.
So if you go to Dry Bar, go to the Dry Bar app and you can see the whole special, or you can go to Facebook, or you can go to YouTube and find the clips and just say something nice about them. Share them with your friends. Share them with people who aren't your friends.
Watch it repeatedly.
Yeah, watch it repeatedly. Just let it go. Here you go, Jason. If that really is Jason Adams, I got a feeling it's Jason's wife who regularly steals his account. This is my wife's first Starving Comic. She was laughing quite a bit. She wasn't laughing constantly.
Just a bit. Quite a bit.
She said we were courageous.
We were brave. We were brave to do it.
You did very brave things.
It was a very courageous show.
To go live on YouTube and Facebook with the material that you guys have is very courageous. It's very gutsy.
To use your real names.
More or less. Oh, this isn't the show. And let's see. And also the Comedy Roundtable is July 15th. This coming Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have ever wanted to know where comedy comes from, if you want to know what Juwan was talking about when he said he took my course and learned how to write excellent tweets like that,
You want to do it?
I'm spending Wednesdays going through my comedy writing technique. No disrespect to Brant Hanson and his method, but I do have an actual method for writing comedy. And if you're a speaker or a teacher or a communicator, an author, if you're somebody who just thinks it would be handy to be funnier, then you should sign up for it. Now, it's currently members only because I've gotten trolled trying to do this thing before. I don't want to relive that. But somebody crashed our Zoom meeting a couple of years ago when we were doing this and did all sorts of unspeakable things. But join the roundtable, go to the website, go to the live events, pull down in the members section. And it's actually cool. Have you seen it yet, Brian? What I did? I've got it listed. I've got different listed, and you can click and sign up for it. And it's automated now. It's like, and I did it myself, you guys. Wow. I set it up myself. And
well done. So
yeah. So there's that. So consider being a member. Consider joining the roundtable. It's going to be a thing that we're going to do.
Jeff wants to know if you need to re-register each week or just show up if you already have the link.
That's a great question, Jeff Spiller. I am in the process of figuring out how the best way to do it regularly would be. I'm thinking I'm going to move in the direction of if you sign up for the roundtable and then you just are able to get in, forever moving forward. But I'm not sure exactly how to do that. And so to answer your question, I don't know. Currently, you have to sign up for each one. At least through the month of July, you're going to have to sign up for each one. You just click sign up. It pops up a window. You put your little name and email address in there, and then it will tell you what the password is, and then that window will close, and you'll be still there on the same page. So you just got to hit the next button, and then you can sign up for that one. It's so easy. It's so easy that a child or me could do it.
Some children have accidentally do it.
Some children have accidentally done it. And so that's it. That's all my announcements. Hit us up. Hit me up on Facebook or Twitter, or send me an email, or make a comment in the on the blog. Brian, April, have you got anything that you want to encourage people to do this week?
I have a new episode coming out with the very funny Karen Rontowski on the Uncommon Comedy Podcast. And John Branyan's episode will be dropping next Tuesday, not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. So check out Uncommon Comedy Podcast on YouTube. And you can find it on Facebook, and you can listen on Apple, Google, all that sort of stuff.
And Comedy Brian.
And Comedy Brian. For all your Comedy Brian needs.
Comedy Brian needs it. There's no Y. It's not Comedy Brian.
Real Brian with Brian.
It's almost Comedy Brain. But you reversed it. And Juwan, are you planning to go to Muskegon soon?
I'm seeing if we're going to be in Michigan, but we're going to be at a drive-in theater near you, perhaps. So really do check the Casting Crowns website and find out where we're going to be. Because it's a little bit disappointing to me when you go, hey, come to the city. And I was like, we were just there. So I don't want you to miss it. Right. So go to the website and look where we're going to be. There's Alabama or Texas, Tennessee, Georgia, Virginia. I'm sure you have people watching this who are in all those states. But really, this one's going to be really short because we didn't know Kentucky's going to be on there, Florida, a bunch of places in Florida. So we didn't know what's going to happen. This is a experiment. Nobody had done this before. So we got a couple people doing it. For King and Country's already doing it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Only God willing. But come see us in your car. And then have various concessions in there, like a hot dog. Come spill ketchup on your upholstery while listening to good Christian music.
And listen to Casting Crowns music while you ruin the interior of your vehicle. No, that would. I think that's a great idea. It'll be fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us again tonight. Same time next week, next Sunday, 7 p.m. Tell your friends, tell your enemies. Let's turn this into. This has become kind of a family reunion. It's kind of like a weekly get together. Keep me coming back. It's just a highlight of my week. That's true, Troy. It is. Lori Ferguson, great seeing you, Lori. Star Spangled Third Pig. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Tell your friends, tell your loved ones. I almost forgot. I'm thinking about doing a board game thing. I'm thinking about doing a board game online at some point. I almost have it worked out how to do it. So if anybody's interested in playing board games with me in the future, hit me up and let me know about that too. But I think that's going to be, I think it can't be any more of a train wreck than this show, right? It can't work any worse than this.
Unless you play Yahtzee and then you have to like mail the dice. It's a really long game.
Yeah, you're in a mail. Does anybody use a mail anymore? Does anybody mail stuff around? All right, that's it. I can't think of anything else to say. God bless you guys. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you next week. Don't take any waffle irons from aliens. Don't take any waffle irons from aliens.